This is going to be my Premier League predictions for match week 28. Starting off with Friday night, which is today, we've got Wolves up against Aston Villa, a Midlands derby. Wolves, currently right now, they still sit 20th place though. They're still on 10 points now that they hit double digits though. They lost their recent game against Crystal Palace where they were down to 10 men as well. Can they actually get past Derby's record? There's still 10 more or 8 games to go left though. Can they actually do it? I'm not so sure. Aston Villa, on the other hand, Aston Villa, they still currently sit third place. Their recent result was a 1-1 draw against Leeds at home, where Tammy Abraham scoring the late equaliser for them. And I've been saying this for like countless weeks in recent weeks, because Aston Villa are no longer in a title race. And as it stands right now, literally, they are in third place though. However, they've got the likes of Man United, Chelsea and Liverpool trying to close the gap behind them right now. And Aston Villa away at Molineux, they haven't won there since 2021. That's like almost 5 years ago. I mean, with Wolves currently right now have nothing less to play for, who are pretty much confirmed already to the championship. Aston Villa must take all 3 points in this game. I'm going to go for a score prediction of Wolves 1, Aston Villa 2. Next game on Saturday afternoon, we've got Bournemouth and they face Sunderland. 8th place versus 12th place. The gap between these two only separates them by only 2 points. And Bournemouth, I've been really impressed with, since the start of 2026. Their recent run of form, right now, they're currently 7 games unbeaten in the Premier League, and they're only 2 points behind the potential European spots right now. I'm very impressed with Bournemouth, how they managed to go through their, bad run of form and managed to turn that around in 2026. Sunderland, on the other hand, I think Sunderland have had a good season overall, though, to be fair. But, however, I'm not even actually sure where they'll end up finishing, because one moment I see them, in the top 5. I see them like in the European spots, but right now I see them like in like the bottom half of the table or something. Though Sunderland have now lost their last 3 Premier League games in a row, and look, away from home, Sunderland have also been struggling, away from home as well. So it is going to be a very hard game for Sunderland though, which if Sunderland actually, continue their poor run of form, they could possibly end up like finishing in the bottom 6. I'm not saying that they will go down because they're pretty much like 11 points clear of the drop zone, but Sunderland could drop down even further if their poor run of form continues. I'm going to go for a score prediction of Bournemouth 2, Sunderland 1. Next up, we've got Burnley, and they face Brentford. Now, Burnley have picked up 4 points in their last 2 games. They beat Crystal Palace, and they've also picked up a draw 1-1 away at Chelsea. Fleming scoring the 93rd equaliser to get Burnley a point. And Burnley, they currently sit on 19 points right now. I believe it's now 8 points clear of safety right now. Can they still push to get out of the relegation zone? Probably not though, because the likes of West Ham are probably more better than them right now. Brentford, though, on the other hand, I think Brentford have been really good. I mean, they lost their recent game against Brighton, which I didn't expect that to happen, though, to be fair. And look, Brentford, I still think they could be in the shout for a European spot right now. They're still 7th in the Premier League, only with 40 points right now. And I think it is going to be a very close game here, because Burnley, they know how to stay in games. They keep on pushing for it though. But I think Brentford here will be too much in this game. I'm going to go for a score prediction of 1-0 to Brentford. Next up, we've got Liverpool up against West Ham. From a West Ham perspective, literally, is that 2 points dropped or another point gained? Because if you look at West Ham's recent run of form though, the last 2 games looked like missed opportunities. That is 2 points dropped, where West Ham, knowing that they had an opportunity to jump out of the relegation zone, they've drawn their last 2 games against Manchester United and Bournemouth though, and the gap at the bottom is still 2 points. Literally, West Ham are only 2 points off safety right now, and they got some tough fixtures ahead of that relegation battle as well. And they're going to be going to Anfield to take on Liverpool. Liverpool, who have been a bit inconsistent, in like recent weeks though. But however, if you look at Liverpool's last 5 Premier League games, only 3 wins and 2 losses though. And Liverpool, they currently sit 6th place, only 3 points behind Manchester United. 3 points behind Chelsea as well, in the race for top 5 as well. And look, Liverpool did snatch it late on against Nottingham Forest, where they were absolutely awful in that game. And look, it is going to be a really difficult one for West Ham. But Liverpool, they surely have to win this game pretty comfortably, as you would expect it. I'm going to go for a score prediction of Liverpool 3, West Ham 0. But if West Ham manage to get a result at Anfield, I will be there. Next up, we've got Newcastle facing Everton. And look, Newcastle currently right now, their recent run of form in the Premier League has been abysmal right now. Only 1 win in their last 5 Premier League games, and they are sit 11th in the Premier League table right now. They won their last, I think, 4 games. I think they've won the last 4 out of 5 games in all competitions, though, to be fair. And look, they lost their recent game against Manchester City, though, but I actually think they actually played very well in that game as well. And Newcastle have secured their place in the Champions League round of 16 after beating Karabakh in midweek, though. But in the Premier League, where Newcastle, they have to sort themselves out, because they could drop down even further down the table if things continue the way they are. Everton, though, on the other hand, Everton away from home, they have been a bit better recently, but however, they've lost their last 2 home games against Bournemouth and against Manchester United. Though, to be fair, in that Man United game, I think Everton played very well in that game as well, but unfortunate not to score. And at St James's Park, it is a hard place to go these days. And Newcastle's last 2 home games, they've lost back-to-back home games, I think last month or so. But I think Newcastle will take all 3 points in this game. I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Everton 1. Next game is on Saturday night. We've got Leeds United facing Manchester City. Now, Manchester City are now flourishing right now. They are absolutely flying right now. They're on some fantastic form right now. They are still second in the league. However, this time, the gap is now 5 points. And they still have a game in hand, though. And if Man City win that game in hand, they could possibly be level on points with Arsenal. And Leeds, though, on the other hand, Leeds have picked up 3 very good results. That's now 5 points in their last 3 games. They picked up a draw away at Aston Villa, where it was 1-1. And as it stands right now, they are only 7 points clear of the relegation zone. They are getting closer and closer towards that Premier League survival and all that, though. And look, under the lights at Ellen Road, Leeds have been very good at home, though. They are such a difficult team to play at home, literally so much, though. And look, it is going to be very difficult for Leeds, though, because I think Manchester City, though, with a look at their squad right now, they will be too strong in this game. So I'm going to go for a score prediction of Leeds 1, Manchester City 3. On to Super Sunday afternoon, we got Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. 14th place versus 17th place. Both teams sit in the bottom half of the table right now. Brighton, though, they've been on a bad run of form and finally managed to get back to winning ways, winning 2-0 away at Brentford, though. Fabian Herzl has been under pressure recently, but look, things should start to get better. For Brighton, though, to be honest. But Brighton, they are still in 14th place, though. They'll probably end up in mid-table towards the end of the season, though. I can't see them actually fighting for Europe, though. Nottingham Forest, though, on the other hand, Nottingham Forest, who are in Europe, though, by the way, they have secured their place in the round of 16, winning 4-2 on aggregate against Fenerbahce, though. However, they did lose their recent game at home to Liverpool 1-0, which they actually played very well in that game. And the gap is only 2 points at the bottom. Forest are only 2 points clear of the relegation zone. And it is going to be a very tough game, though, because away at the Amex is a hard place to go. And look, Forest, though, you do feel that they must win this game to pull themselves further away, though. But, like, at the Amex, it is a very hard place to go. I fancy Brighton, to take all 3 points here. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton. Next up, we got this London derby at Craven Cottage. We got Fulham up against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Tottenham Hotspur are in serious trouble right now. Yes, they've hired Igor Tudor, but what has actually changed though? It's just the same Spurs, like as usual. I mean, Spurs still haven't won a game in 2026. They are currently the worst team in the Premier League right now due to recent form right now, and they are in 16th place. This time they're only 4 points off relegation as it stands right now. And look, Tottenham though, they still have the Champions League though to play for right now. But look, I think their main focus, it has to be on the Premier League though, because look, Spurs, there is a high possible chance that they could get themselves relegated. Fulham though, on the other hand, have managed to get back to winning ways, winning 3-1 away at Sunderland though, and they are in 10th place right now, still within a shout of Europe as well though, and I'm going to back them to get all 3 points in this game. I'm going to go Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. And look, Tottenham though, they might end up, getting relegated though. If you haven't seen their tough run of fixtures, I cannot see them getting any points in some of those games, let alone this game on Sunday. Next up, we've got Manchester United up against Crystal Palace. And Manchester United, I'm going to say it, we are one of the most informed team in the Premier League right now, because we are now 10 games unbeaten right now in the Premier League, and we are now 6 games unbeaten ever since Carrick has came in. And look, I'm loving what I'm seeing right now at Manchester United right now, because we are currently inside the top 4. We are in 4th place, only 3 points behind Aston Villa. We could potentially, end up finishing 3rd place, though, to be fair, and sustain ourselves some Champions League football, Champions League qualification, as well. Manchester United did win their recent game away at Everton, which it wasn't the best performance, though, but we managed to get the win due to a good substitution from Benjamin Sesko scoring after coming off the bench. I expect him to start in this game as well, though, to be fair. Crystal Palace, though, on the other hand, and look, Crystal Palace did get a win at home to Wolves. Evan Gesson, I believe, who's scoring the 90th minute winner in that game as well. And Palace, they are in 13th place right now. And look, Oliver Glasner, though, saying that he wants out at Palace right now. And look, Crystal Palace are in the Conference League round of 16 as well. But I'm not even sure they'll actually go far due to how their squad is looking right now. And look, Manchester United, I'm going to back us to continue our good run of form, though. Normally, in this fixture, it's been difficult for us in recent years. But look, with the way we are playing right now, I reckon we can get all 3 points here. I'm going to go Manchester United 3, Crystal Palace 1. And finally, the last game of the weekend, the biggest game of the weekend on Super Sunday night from the Emirates Stadium, the London derby, which sees Arsenal taking on Chelsea. 1st place versus 5th place. This is going to be a huge game for both teams, though. Arsenal trying to fight for the Premier League title, and Chelsea trying to, fight for top 5 right now. And look, Chelsea, though, they have dropped points in their last 2 games. They've drawn against newly promoted Leeds, and they've drawn against Burnley. Conceding in the 90th minute, that is bad, though. I mean, they have been doing well under Liam Rossini. They're unbeaten, under Liam Rossini in the Premier League, though, to be fair. However, this was the game where Liam Rossini got his first loss as Chelsea manager. Obviously, these 2 teams already met each other in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. though, where Arsenal managed to win both semi-final second legs, though, to be fair. And look, it's going to be a difficult one for both teams, though, especially Chelsea, because they haven't even beaten Arsenal in the last 5 years. Arsenal, though, on the other hand, Arsenal have managed to get back to winning ways, winning 4-1 against Spurs, which it was literally a light work, though, in that game, to be fair. And look, the problem with Arsenal, in the big games, though, Arsenal always struggle, though. We've seen that, literally, over the course of the season so far, though. And yes, I know a big game, in the North London derby, but look, Arsenal are literally playing against a relegation team, by the way. And look, it is going to be a very hard game for Arsenal, because you do see Chelsea, being up for the game as well, though, to be fair. And look, as it stands right now, the gap is 5 points right now. And look, Arsenal have another chance to extend their lead at the top of the table right now. So I'm probably going to back Arsenal in this game, though, due to the fact that they always literally smoke Chelsea. I'm going to go for a score prediction of Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. So that wraps up my Premier League predictions for match week 28. I'm going to be showing you guys how the Premier League table will be looking based on my results. This is how the Premier League table is looking based on my predictions and my results. Arsenal is still top of the league, though, and the gap is still 5 points. Arsenal having played an extra game, though Manchester City is still in second place, though they still have a game in hand. Aston Villa in 4th place. Manchester United in 4th place. Liverpool got up to 5th place right now. Chelsea dropped down to 6th place. Brentford is still in 7th place. Bournemouth in 8th place. Fulham move up to 9th place. Newcastle move up to 10th place. Brighton move up to 11th place. Everton drop down to 12th place. Sunderland, though, they drop down to 13th place right now. Crystal Palace are in 14th place. Leeds United is still in 15th place. The bottom 6 is pretty much looking the same right now. However, this time the gap is still 2 points between Forest and West Ham right now. And also, guys, that wraps up my Premier League predictions, and this entire video. So make sure you guys drop a follow, drop a like. Also, comment down below what you guys think and your score predictions for this weekend's games. And also, guys, I will be doing a live watch along for all these games. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Thank you.